Uh, you know, there's just something magical about eating Parmesan cheese, a block of it, in the middle of the forest. It's amazing. So I wonder what that was. So I went down a trail today, the uh, the Hidden Forest Trail, and I brought my lightsaber.
Surely we can be civilized about this. Lovely. More smiling faces.
Yeah. So this is the Kenobi setting. I love this thing. But I'm not really here to talk about
This
Star
is the
Wars.
last time Cody takes a day off.
Ooh. I'm not really here to talk about Star Wars or anything like that. I felt like a very important topic to touch base on was the topic of friendships. You know, I think as people, we have to come up with our own definition of what a friend actually means. Um, for instance, what I would consider someone a friend, you got to scope people out for a while so you get the feel for them. I mean, we're all formless beings. We all change, especially as time progresses. But we can get the feeling for how someone's going to impact our lives based on getting to know them, having those one-on-ones, stuff like that. Um, uh, it's all based on our own perception. Take the good with the bad with the good. Nobody's perfect. But one thing I do like when I make someone my friend is, are they real or are they just being fake? Because I know we're in this virtual game called life, but I think there is, you know, there is some sort of valid truth to authenticity, being authentic. And it's not always easy. And a lot of the time, people have issues that keep them from being authentic. An issue that I'm working on right now is SR, semen retention. I'm on my longest streak in a while. I'm on day 11. I'm making it to day 30, and then after that, I'm just going to take it day by day, see how far I can get. But it's never easy. One thing I do notice though, if you're a guy and you do struggle with this, is trying to, I mean, we all have to go to work, especially if you live here in America. So, work is not always going to be the most positive environment. I get that. I have my days where they're up, and then I have days where they're just real bad and I don't want to be there. But I go there anyway because, after work, that's it. I get to go home. I create the environment, and that's very important. There's a lot of people that they just stress themselves out. They fill their plate way too full, and there's just too much interference with what they can take on. It's good to take on a challenge, but you don't want to stress yourself the hell out. You want to chill. You want to have time to come out here in nature, have some cheese. You know, it's important to get away from the city, from everyone. Have time to yourself. There's a lot of people here that struggle with that. In fact, speaking of the topic of friends, they'll surround themselves with people all the time. Oh, I'm relaxing. I'm watching TV. I'm on my phone, but I'm relaxing. No, you're not. Relaxation is when you're not engaged in anything. You know, even here, I'm to get to this spot in the forest, I had to walk a couple miles. I took a couple of breaks, but I was not really relaxing. You know, before this video and after this video, I just take some time to sit there, you know, and I'll just relax, you know, like go out. You can't always go to the woods, or maybe you can. um, but take some time to like just sit there, go outside, and just look at the sky. You know, just it's it's just awesome. Yeah. You know, just take time to just chill, man. But going back to the topic of friends, there's a lot of people out there that they have issues and they're unable to be authentic. I don't know why or how. You know, that's on an individual case basis, but going back to if you're watching this video to begin with, working on your issues and trying your best to overcome them. Of course, ask God for help. Don't be afraid of that. I take time to do that. Working on your issues and trying to represent the authentic self that you are and that the light you can bring to this world will really resonate with people, and you will start to attract people that are also authentic. However, with that being said, I've noticed this happen to me in the past, and I'm still trying to work onto it because I fall into this trap all the time. Try your best not to make someone, even if it's someone you care about, like my mom, for instance, you know, try not to, someone who struggles with a lot of issues, don't make them your project. It's not going to do any good. Life's going to prescribe them the lessons. They've got to learn the lessons with time. Now, if they come to you and they're like, hey, man, you know, or they vent to you, like if they're not asking for help, they're like, oh, no, no, and you see the solutions. It's like, God, it's so simple. Like with the SR thing, if you're a guy and you struggle with that, maybe your habits, you know, like don't talk to girls for a while. I'm not saying never talk to them again, but dating apps, get rid of all of them. You know, don't talk to girls for a while. Focus on hobbies, productive hobbies, that are not going to entertain that behavior. That right there will solve that problem. In fact, if you're a guy and you get on the SR train and you really grind it out, you know, it takes grit. But that will solve most of your issues. You know, overcoming past trauma, that comes with time, but the SR train will solve most of your issues. Diet, working out, because eventually you're going to reach a point where you have all this energy and you're like, dang, what did I do with all of it? I only slept 3 hours today. I got to go run. You know, like last night I ran 1.5 miles. I took 11 minutes just to go outside. I went running. And yeah, man, sometimes you just got to do that. But yeah, that's one thing that I realized with people. It's a crazy world we live in, dude. Especially where I work. I won't go into the logistics of it, but when you're at work and you know, it's kind of like you never know who they're gonna hire. It's like a mystery box. I'm Panda, so I'm a mystery. You know, like you'll never figure me out. You think you got me figured out, but you'll never figure me out. You know, I'm different every day. I'm into something every day, but I got some staples. Like I like Pokemon. Brought some with me this time. I got Manny. Wah! The Tusks, and then Magmar. But yeah, uh, going back to the topic of friends, like, yeah, it's hard to make friends when you're at work anyway. It's not impossible. Nothing's impossible, you know. But it is hard because it's like mystery, you know. I like Pokemon, for instance, so if I were gonna go to some Pokemon convention, chances are I could probably make friends pretty quickly there because we already have a similar interest and we're both there for that interest. But you know, work, especially how it is here in America, most people go to work for a paycheck. I wish the world wasn't like that, but unfortunately it is. At least where I live. But, you know, sometimes man, it's so peaceful out here. This is where it's at. People just need to go out to the woods. Let's just take a minute. Everybody's rushing. There's just all this rushing. The world's rushing, rushing, rushing. Rushing to what? You know, just these videos I make, they're just gonna be raw, real, in the moment, non-rehearsed. Stop rushing and just relax. Whew. Now that right there, that is relaxation. I should really bring my painting kit out here, paint a photo or something, paint a picture. I could paint a million pictures with the words I could come up with to describe the beauty I see around me. You know, people, I like Pokemon as much as the next guy, but the peace I get, like my back really hurts, especially my lower back. I've been sitting down way too much. But sometimes you just gotta get up and be active, dude, because like sitting down, people are right. Sitting is the new smoking. Yeah, people like need to do it in intervals. You know, play the game for a couple hours, at the most 2 hours, and some people can't even do that. But you know, like play the game for 2 hours, but then after that, go outside for an hour. You know, go for a walk. Like do some stretching, downwards dog. That one's really good. But yeah, This world's a crazy place, man. But I get to show you. I'm not always like this. I get to show you what I consider the real me. You know, when I'm out here and I'm just enjoying all this, the world could really use this. You know, just get outside, away from people, away from all the streets. You know, it's just, it's so awesome. Be wise with your friends, you know. I wanted this topic to be, you know, on friends, but I've been all over the place since I started the video. But I'm not going to go back. I think, you know, I want to set YouTube. I want to set an example of myself on YouTube for just me in the moment. You'll get different versions of me, but I want people just to be able to experience this peace. Go outside and just let go. It's almost like a weight being lifted off your shoulders. You know, just I could sit here and try to give you advice, you know, but sometimes you just have to learn things on your own. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you're just tired. You're tired of, like, you know, toxic people. You're tired of issues you may struggle with, and now you're going to overcome them. Now you have the will to overcome them. Of course, there's asking for God's help too, but you got to put in your 2 cents. But you're going to reach a point where you're tired of it all, and spending a day out here, or half a day, you're going to realize that you're the driver of your own life. You pilot your life. Some people allow others to pilot their life, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's allowing them to pilot your life. You know, you pilot your life. You decide where you want your life to go. And sometimes it requires walking away from some people. You know, that includes family too. I've had to walk away from family. I've had to walk away from friends. But I often find that it's, you know, it's just part of life. It's God in different forms. And sometimes, one thing I can say is when you do walk away from those people that are bringing you down, that, you know, it's okay. You're returning them to the universe. And in return, you'll get better ones. You'll get upgrades. Don't be afraid to let someone go, to return someone to God, to the universe, if they're bringing you down. You know, that's perfectly okay. It's your life. It's your experience at the end of the day. Do what you can within your own power, of course, but do what you can to make your experience the most enjoyable. You know, we're not all going to have perfect days, but even those bad days can be enjoyable. Just remember that when you're picking friends. All right. I've hit my 20 minutes, so I got to go. I'll see you guys in the next video. Namaste.